Hello, my friends! This is Evelina, life coach for immigrants, and you are about to hear an interview I did with a dear friend of mine, Karolina. This is for all of you single women. It is for those of you who are super frustrated because you feel like there are no good men out there. It's really hard to date nowadays. Our outer world is a reflection of our inner world. So today we're going to talk about the personal reinvention that needs to happen before we meet the man of our dreams. We're going to cover what does it look like when you're building your identity and your self-trust after divorce. And my friend Karolina will tell you exactly what to do before you even consider putting yourself out there, how to evaluate your previous relationships so that you don't end up repeating the same cycle just with another man, how to get to know yourself better so you end up attracting love through authenticity. So the guy that comes your way is perfect for you, right? Because you really know yourself and you've attracted him from that point of knowing yourself, knowing what you want. She tells us what to do when we are ready to start dating and what to do when we realize that we're not attracting the guy that we want yet. What to do when you realize you're attracting low quality men. And of course, she also tells you what a low quality man is. Like, what does that creature look like? What to watch out for. She tells us how to elevate our vibrational frequency through love and gratitude. We talk about masculine and feminine energies in relationship, why allowing your partner to take charge, giving back graciously is so important. Why we women make a real mistake when we're trying to do everything on our own and we're not asking for help. And I know that a lot of immigrant women are guilty of this. We feel like we need to do it all. And that's a problem. If you're in that energy, it's almost impossible for you to attract him. And you know what? At the very end, she tells us her love story and whom she was able to attract thanks to all of the inner work she has done. That story is crazy amazing, how specific she was and how the universe gave her exactly what she asked. I'm excited for you to hear it. All right, friends, here we go. Karolinka, welcome to the show. I'm so glad you are here. So first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself. I already told my listeners that you are a relationship coach, but tell us a little bit more. Tell us, what does it mean? Whom do you help?
Thank you for having me. I'm so appreciate that. I am a relationship and happiness coach. My ideal client is women after divorce, after long marriage that fails, and she's now ready for a new love.
Okay, so what does she feel like?
She feels like, first of all, she doesn't know who she is. After a long marriage, after maybe kids, she lost herself in the process of serving others. She lost completely herself.
So the first step is to come back to herself and recognize that she needs help with figuring out what she even likes.
Yes, I would say this is the second step. Like, first step to taking evaluation of her relationship that she just ended. Take time to think about what was good, because there was a good stuff happening that wasn't just bad. So acknowledge what was good, what you want to recreate, what you want to keep. Think about what was bad, what was wrong, what you didn't like, what you for sure don't want to have in another relationship. What was missing? Because probably there was something that was missing. And just by being in a relationship, you could recognize that, like, something is missing. And what do you want to have in your next relationship? Like, put on piece of paper, like, what you're not going to tolerate anymore, what was missing, what has to happen in your next relationship, and what was good, like what you can celebrate, what you can send love to, and acknowledge that there was good parts as well. And finding herself, I would say this is like, it can start in the first step, But finding yourself is very important after a long relationship, after a long marriage with kids. Women, we have tendency to lose ourselves in relationship, to do everything for our partners, for our kids, and we forget about ourselves. I remember myself when I went first grocery shopping when my youngest daughter left home, and I almost started crying in the grocery store when I realized that first time I can buy food just for me. That I don't have to think, okay, what she's gonna eat. If she's not gonna eat, then I will eat. And I didn't know the answer, what I wanna buy. For so long, I was buying groceries for my family. I didn't know what I want just for me. Like, this is just for me. That was a shock for me. So I started to learn about myself. What do I like? What kind of movie do I like? Music. Where do I want to go for vacation? How I want to spend my weekends? What do I want? Me, Karolina. Not my family, not what is appropriate for my family. No, just for me. It took some time. It took some time to rewire this, to stop being in service for other, but being in service for myself. That was a big step.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that even, looking in the past, because that's like a lot of us will do this, right? We'll be like, okay, this is what I used to like. But today we're a different person. So it's almost like you have to recreate yourself, not even go back because you're an adult now. Like, let's say that you were married for 20 years. That's a long time and you've become a different person. So you really help people, because so many of us are in this like identity crisis when we walk away from a long marriage, right? We don't know who we are anymore. So the first step is really establishing that foundation for yourself. That's really, really important work. I don't think a lot of people realize it. Like when you introduce yourself and you say, I'm a relationship coach, is that one of the relationships that you fix is the relationship to yourself.
It's the only relationship that we have to fix with ourselves. We have to build this relationship because most likely, I know, this is the biggest percent of women. We lost ourselves. We have to start trusting ourselves because we neglect ourselves for so long, and now we don't trust ourselves. We said so many times, I will walk away from this relationship, and we don't. I will do something nice for myself, and we don't, because somebody else needs our help, and even our intuition is not working properly because we didn't listen. We had this voice, and at some point when we were overriding this, it stopped telling to us. It's like, okay, you don't listen me, that's fine. Like, I'm not gonna tell you. And our intuition is our power. This is very powerful tool for us. When we on our own, we can start recreating a relationship with ourselves. We can start building trust. Most likely we lost this trust in ourselves. We didn't lose, like we lose the trust in our previous partner, but the most painful trust that we lost is trust with ourselves.
Yeah, that, as I'm listening to it, it really correlates to what I do with my clients too. There is that element of self-trust that we build to build self-confidence. It's like one of the things that we do is we focus on what are the things that we want to shift for ourselves, things that we want to be doing on a daily basis, and then giving it to ourselves, right? And so it's like I make a decision and then I follow through. And so I'm building this trust within myself. But in the relationship dynamic, I can see how without that you could go in such a quick codependency, right? If you're like allowing other people's opinions or ideas to be that guiding voice for you, and you're doing things against yourself, then that's part of the process of you losing yourself, right? So then there's that whole process of recreating the connection with yourself. So I'm assuming that that's what you do as well. Now, we kind of jumped right into it. Can you tell me a little bit more about your story? Because you seem to really understand ins and outs of it. So tell me, how come you get it?
I spent over 10 years learning personal development, spirituality. I was so dedicating every dollar I made, every minute I had, I was so dedicated to do this inner work. And what I realized, we are lacking understanding of feminine and masculine energy, the dynamic between we women and men. There is so much problems because of miscommunication, misunderstanding. We don't know the other person needs. We cannot meet them. We cannot communicate with them the way that they're gonna receive it. So easy we get into fight that we don't have to get into in those fights. Like, it's not necessary. Like, when after my divorce, I spent first few years on healing. Like, I had a big trauma from my childhood, but after years doing healing work, I decide that I am so done with this because I didn't see going ahead. Like, I was all still in the same place. I didn't evolve. I was still in pain emotionally. Like, even my body was breaking on me. That was awful. That was not a nice place to be. And year after year, I was still in the same place. And people were like, those healers, they were saying, oh, this is another level of onion. We have to drop it. And I was like, okay, I want to be happy. So I believe that I have to go through this process. And everything changed when I dropped when I stopped focusing on the healing and I went directly after happiness. I was like, I'm doing all of this work to be happy and I'm nowhere. Like, I'm still miserable. So I decide, okay, I'm dropping the healing. I am done. It's starting to look like I am abusing myself now. And I went after creating, happiness, after raising my vibes, after entering the different levels of consciousness scale. And that was the time then everything shifted.
So during this whole time, when you were trying to heal, was there therapy? Were you going to therapy, or was it just different levels or different ways of healing yourself, going through different courses, Reiki, those kind of like holistic things? What were you doing specifically?
I was doing everything. there was therapy, on one-on-one and group therapy, traditional, and that was, it had some benefits. Like, I understood what was happening. Like, I got understanding on my head level, like in my head, like it made sense. I knew I was doing the things I was doing. So that was part of my healing, but mostly that was, like you said, Reiki. I was going to see healers in Brazil, in Mexico, in Canada, US. Like, I was really doing, healing work. And then after this healing work, I shifted to do personal development work, working on me. Basically, that was like I was gaining this understanding of myself and I was appreciating myself. I stopped looking for what is wrong with me, what was during the healing process, what's wrong with me, where I can go next, what healer is gonna fix me. And like nothing was happening. Right after I decided to look for what is good with me in personal development, I got empowered during those trainings, those years of trainings. And then I shifted. Then I was like, no, nothing wrong with me. I am fine. Like, I just need to, build myself, but in loving way, not because something wrong with me. And with this, I was able to heal my trauma from my childhood, like big stuff that I was working on for like 5 years and was not happening. When I was in better state, my energy was in different place. I wasn't in this dark, smelly stuff. I was high. I was happy already. Then that was one sentence from my mentor, and I dropped it. Like I released, and first I was checking on myself because in the past when healing, like I could feel the shift, but it was recreating. Like now I understand that I was still in this vibe of low energy, and when I was releasing, it was getting back to me. That it didn't go far because I was still there. I was still on this level of misery, fear, depression, and all this stuff was so close to me, and I was trying to push away, and with no time, was back in. And when I went up on the scale, when I was feeling love for myself, for the world around me, the gap there, this created the gap between where I am and where the stuff from my childhood belongs. And that there was they don't belong to each other, and it dropped. And when dropped, that was final. That was in 2021, so a few years, 4 years now, 3 years now, and it didn't get back. And that was the time when I was finally be able to use my knowledge from personal development, my understanding of feminine and masculine dynamics, and I created the most precious second marriage with my alpha man.
Yeah, as I'm listening to you, we'll talk about it just a second. There's a few things that come to my mind because as you're talking about different levels, I want the listeners to understand that we're talking about frequency and specific frequencies within our being that different emotions create, right? So if we're focusing so much on I am not healthy yet, I have to fix something within myself, and we're focusing on the areas that we have to fix, that's what's stopping us from gaining a lot of power, right? Because we're hanging out mentally and emotionally in the lower areas. There comes a time when therapy is not helpful anymore, and when we're ready to move into personal development, because it is we're ready, we fixed what we needed to fix, now it's time to focus on the strengths. So your story just portrays it so well. But what comes to my mind also, it's so you've shifted your mindset, you shifted your focus, first of all, right? You started looking at what's right about you. What do you want? What is the experience that you want to have in your life? And that in itself created this whole opening, this and different frequency overall within you. So like you said, the lower frequencies, the lower thoughts, the lower feelings just naturally drop because there's such a high dissonance between the lower story, the sadness and all the emotions that were there, and the happiness that you've created for yourself. That's such a beautiful example of how powerful personal development can be. I know we talked about you giving us 5 steps to finding love after divorce. So why don't you give it to us? And then let's talk about your man, because I know you're in a happy marriage. And it's that's one of the reasons why you're such an incredible coach, because you are a walking example of the fact that we have this available to us, that we can have this incredible love after getting divorced. So let's go into the 5 steps to finding love after divorce, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. So first is this process of taking inventory what was left after our first marriage. Like I said before, what was good, what was bad, what was missing, what I'm not going to be tolerating anymore, what I want more of it. And second, very important part is to learning about yourself, finding yourself again after, losing yourself in this long relationship. When we are in good place in our life, when we are not hating our ex-husband, when we are in peace with this everything what happened, when we know who we are, what we want, what we like, what we don't like, then we can enter dating world. Not before, not when we are still hating, not when we don't know who we are, what we want. We have to have like understanding what we're gonna tolerate and what we want. And then let's say I put my profile on dating site, and I was observing who is coming. And first, that was very low quality man. And I was very disappointed. I was like, oh my gosh, it's not looking good.
Tell me, hold on. What's a low quality man? What does that look like?
He doesn't want to commit. He's just there to play with you, to go, booty calls, to go just have fun, no responsibility, no connection. This is very surface connection. This is just about having fun, but you still don't have somebody that you can lean on, that can have your back. You are still alone. You are just going for dates and you have fun, but later you are coming back home and you are still alone. You are still on your own. And even is like with time, there's like a big hole inside you, and you go with those men because you are trying to give something and it's not received, and you are not getting anything from them. There's no connection, no energy exchange. The hearts are closed. This is just about our bodies, and with time it gets like very quickly old, and you just don't want to be there. They're not on those sides to create healthy, strong, committed relationship. So that was my first experience. And when you find yourself in the situation that you see like there's no good men exist, like you cannot see them, this is the time when you have to get back. Don't stay on this dating site. You are not ready yet. Sorry to disappoint you, but you are not ready yet. If you don't see good men, they don't exist on your frequency level. They do exist, but you cannot see them. You can see just men that are on your energy level. And I know it seems, awful and unfair that you are a good person. You just want to love and be loved back. And why you don't see good men? Because you are still in the field when there's a lot of hurt, a lot of shame, guilt. This is low vibrational field. This is not where those healthy masculine men function. They don't live there. They already know who they are. They got their stuff together, and they are higher on the frequency level. They know that they want a committed long-term relationship. They don't want to play. They know how their energy is precious, how their time is precious. They're not going to waste this time with, dating for a weekend only.
Yeah. So what comes to my mind is also this, like, you're looking for something very specific, right? And you help your clients determine what it is that they're looking for. But then, like, if that committed man that is supposed to have all this love for you is not going to be really able to give it to you because you don't hold yourself in that high frequency of love, then it's impossible for the two of you to match.
Yes.
Because even if you two meet, you will repel him.
Different levels.
Yeah.
You can even go for a date with alpha healthy man, and after date he will think to himself like, she seems to be nice, like everything looks okay, but there is not it. This is not it. This something is off, and he's not gonna be wasting his time when something is off. He's not gonna be digging and trying to figure out. No, he's moving on.
Got a question. No. What's an alpha man?
Healthy alpha, because we can have toxic alpha man and we can have healthy alpha man. This is the man who wants to protect and do everything for his woman. He just wanted to be appreciated. This is not transactional relationship. Healthy alpha man will do everything for the woman he loves. He will provide for her. He's gonna be her protector, her leader, and you have to be healthy to receive this leadership. He wants to committed relationship. He's not gonna be looking around for other women. He has his woman. He knows what he has. He's not gonna be risking losing her, and he wants to protect, take care, provide for her. There is no need for fighting. No need for playing games. No, this is very harmonious relationship. If you are a healthy feminine woman and you get healthy masculine alpha man.
Let's talk about the healthy feminine women, because they're not that common anymore, right?
Yes, it's so easy to get in our masculine energy when we are on our own. We have to pay our bills, we have to make money. So it gets us in position in doing. Like we have, look at this, like masculine energy is doing, feminine energy is being. So when we are on our own, we have to do so many things. We have to do so many things, and we need this energy. And it's beautiful that we have access to this energy. We can go ahead. We can have, good business, good career. We need it. Like, it's so powerful. But often we so get to used to be in this energy that we are forgetting how to be loving, kind, nourishing, how to be in our feminine energy. I like the saying that get tired in your masculine energy, but drop this masculine energy, get into your feminine and relax. Those baths, those going to the spa, this is not wasting our time and our energy. This is really important. Like this.
What? Did you say baths? Like we get to take baths? Your clients get to take baths when they talk to you?
Yes. And I need pictures. I need proof. I don't trust them. Like, I want to see a picture. Like, send it to me. I am in like awesome relationship, but I'm still taking care of me, of my energy. Like, I am responsible for my happiness, my energy, not my husband. He's just my partner. Like, I love to spend time with him, but I am taking care of myself. And I got flowers from my mentor, not from my man. And I created the best bath ever. Like, I put some essential oils to my bath, Epsom salt. I had some candles around, glass of wine, and I put those, that was 12 white roses. I separated them. Like, I have the petals that I put in my bath, and that was the most awesome bath ever. I'm gonna remember this for so long. But I take care of myself. I don't need him to do this. He's taking care about other stuff, about our finances, about like providing for our lives. But I don't need him to run and do bath for me. This is not necessarily the masculine energy. This is feminine. This is nurturing, but I am nurturing myself in this moment. There is time when I'm nurturing him, but I have to remember about myself too.
Yeah, and when you nurture yourself, then you actually have the energy to give to him. And he wants the energy of nurturance, right? Like, that is the energy that you want to be in as you're interacting with him. This makes me think about something that I have done with a friend of mine, where we went to the mall, or just sitting having coffee, and we're just looking around. And we've actually done it in the US and we've done it in Poland. So it wasn't just here in the US, it was both places. We were looking at how women are dressed, just at what they're wearing. Are they feminine looking or are they masculine looking? And I kid you not, 99% of them were wearing pants. They just look masculine. They all looked masculine. Not only that they didn't have dresses on and stuff like that, because you can be wearing pants and still be feminine, but even the energy that they were moving in wasn't calm, graceful, relaxed. It was all about this action, right? I gotta go get it done. And I'm so guilty of this. I totally get it. It's almost like we have to go backwards, or even some of us, and I can totally see this in my life, Like I have to learn it. Like I have to learn how to be feminine with a man overall. Because the only way that comes to my mind that I could be feminine is if I'm taking care of him, right? And that's nurturing, which is part of it, but it's not it. That's not all of it, because then we could step into the mother relationship, like being like a mother and mothering too much. That they don't want that. That's not what an alpha man wants, right? He doesn't want a mother. He wants a partner that can show some love from time to time in that flavor of nurturance, but not too much of it. I'm assuming, yeah.
They want to be appreciated. They want our kindness and our softness, but they don't want our mothering. They don't want our do this, do that. Like, why so slow? You have to do this faster. This is not good enough. They don't want this. We are getting into mothering energy is masculine energy. Mother energy, like the kindness, softness, like talking about feelings and nurturing our kids, this is feminine energy. But mothering, did you do your homework? Did you clean your room? This is masculine energy. And even with our kids, we are losing this, like we are using that just our masculine energy. And it's needed. But what about, balance? Like, let's balance this with having fun and with stopping criticizing, like that something is not, at our standards. And we do the same with our husbands, and we do the same with our mothers as well. We are mothering everybody, our friends, everybody. So
guilty.
like
totally guilty.
like
Absolutely. Totally guilty. So, okay. So what comes to my mind is this, like, if we're going to step into feminine energy to be able to attract not only that alpha man we want, right, but to kind of like establish foundation for that next relationship so that we do not go into masculine energy when we are actually with our alpha male. What are some of the things? Like you've mentioned baths already, right? Taking care of yourself that way. But what are some other things that we can be doing to make sure that we remain in femininity and we don't shift into the masculine energy too much?
When we were dating, we needed a home to rent over the Airbnb. And I let him choose the home, to rent the home for us. And it took him so much longer than I would do, but he wanted to do it. He wanted to provide for me. So I just let him. I didn't fight with him. I didn't try to, prove him that I can find a better home at better price. No, I just let him do. And when we were entering this home, he felt like a man. Like he wasn't just the person going with suitcases behind my back, because he knew how to open this home. He got the communication with Airbnb host. He was in charge, and it gave him so much, power. And he was so happy. When he saw me happy, I didn't go and like, this is not the color of sofa I would prefer. Like I was happy. We have to decide, like, if we want to do this on our own. I had another choice. I could decide that I'm gonna do my way. I'm gonna choose everything with my liking. But then he would be just the person that follows me. I would go in my masculine energy, not with my feminine energy. I dropped it. I was provided for. He provided this, and I received, and I was appreciating, and I didn't, complain. I was happy. And like I had a client, she said that her husband and her, they fight when they are packing car. They fight with themselves who is better, like who is better at packing car. And they, like put this way, not this. And I said, just let him do this. You go and take your bath. You go and take book. Make yourself a cup of coffee. Like, let him do it. Let him use, men, they use their problem-solving skills. Let him. This is how he shows you love. This is how he provides for you. He's doing, manly job for you. Why to try to fight with him? And this is like two masculine energies, and they gonna, like two roosters. No, this is not harmony. This is, it's not not nice. Like, you're gonna get in fight packing the freaking car instead of letting him do his job on his timeline. He can take whatever time he wants, and you go and do your stuff. Relax, just be with yourself, and later come back to him and say, "Oh my gosh, thank you, honey." And he's, everybody is happy on the end.
Sounds lovely. Like, it makes me think about all the situations in my past marriage when I was doing that exact thing you're saying not to. When, we were going places, and I'll be the one choosing the hotel, and I'll be the one doing all those things. And then I think about the recent situation when I was with a friend of mine, and it was the other dynamic, right? And how that went. That sense of pride that he had a chance to experience that I did not pay attention to in the moment. But now that I think of it, it was definitely there, because that was like, he got to do something, he got to provide, he got to take care of this for me. And I just to come in and receive.
With smile and appreciation.
With smile and appreciation. I'm like, oh my Lord, that was so lovely. And it's like, I'm stopping myself in my life from receiving that much goodness because I'm trying to do what exactly? Have it my way?
Prove it that you are stronger, better. For what?
Yeah. For what?
Think what is your priority in your life. My priority is my happy marriage with my man. And I want to relax in my feminine energy. And this is it. I felt guilty on the beginning. I didn't understand. And he was trying to provide, and I was, pushing, and I wanted to give him something. Like, he was giving me one thing. I was trying to give him something to compensate, to basically to pay for it. And this is something that they don't wanna. They wanna provide. When we are trying to pay for it, it's like we're not receiving. If we do like transactions.
Oh, yeah, I see. So I'm trying to think now, like, what are some of the ways that might happen in, right? Like, for us women from Eastern Europe specifically, is it that, I don't know, he does something nice, so then I either pay or I make food and give, right? And then
you
he's
can
the receiver.
He can do something for you, and you can give him food in two different ways. You can do as a masculine energy with paying him for his service, or you can see this like nourishing the man that did something for you. But it has to come from different place, not the, okay, he's gonna do this for me, then I have to pay him. I have to. No, I want to give him. I want to nourish him. I want to show him my appreciation. Can you see, like, there's different?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, definitely. There is a big difference.
And it's received because they can feel this is, basically paying paying me with your money or with your meal, or paying with your appreciation. Meal can be both ways in masculine and feminine energy.
That's fascinating too, right? Because we would think that, like, okay, cooking food and being nurtured that way, it's femininity. Not necessarily. Depends what flavor it's in there, what's the intention underneath. That's fascinating. Can you think of other things that we women do that appear to be feminine but can be done in masculine energy?
We often find ourselves doing everything on our own, and we don't ask for help. Like, I had a funny situation with my husband when I was busy with my bath, and I sent him to grocery store to buy a duck. I wanted to prepare duck for a dinner. And he came back with pork shoulder. So I had two choices. I could say like, oh my gosh, like I cannot even send you to buy a duck. You are coming with pork shoulder. What is wrong with you? Like, the dinner is ruined and you suck. I'm never, ever gonna ask you for help. And I didn't do this. I said, oh, pork shoulder, that's great. So we are gonna have pork shoulder for dinner. And we have still, we had still great dinner, and we were laughing, and I have a story now to tell. And he didn't feel like an idiot that he cannot, see the difference between duck and pork shoulder. He wanted to do this on his own without calling me and saying, I cannot find the duck. Where do you think the duck is in the store? He made decision, and I was okay with this decision. It doesn't matter to me if I'm gonna be eating duck or if I'm gonna eat pork shoulder. The atmosphere, the love, the kindness is what matters to me. And we often complain that men don't help us with housework. Imagine that he asking you to go to buy some in hardware store, and you bring something wrong. You don't know. You just didn't know which screw to choose. You bring 3, or you bring the wrong one. And he's complaining, yelling, making problem about this. What the chances you will want to go next time to do this shopping for him? You are not interested, like, go do this yourself. And same with men, like, it doesn't matter. I can eat pork shoulder. I wanted to have a duck for dinner, yeah, but we have to choose what is the most important for us.
Yeah, and it's like, as I'm listening to you, I'm thinking, it's making decision ahead of time what is important. How am I going to act? How I'm going to react, right? And yes, the values of it all are pretty much like a compass, right? Like that's the direction. At the end of the day, this relationship, how it unfolds, that's the most important. Not that if I'm right, not if he did something wrong. Yeah. What happens from this point? How am I loving him? How am I showing up here? It sounds like so much more of a power spot versus us reacting, just reacting to what other people do, us deciding ahead of time. That's really, really awesome. Okay, hold on. Tell me, because we went through the process a little bit, and I kind of want to go back to it. So I think we stopped where we were talking about how you would go first. First, you would decide on whom you do the evaluation of your marriage. Then you create the sense of yourself, and you really create a new foundation for yourself. You look at what you like, what don't you like, those kind of things. You create a different relationship of yourself, and then you're ready to go. You create the profile on the dating site, and then you go and you check who comes to you, right? So let's talk about the moment when you go, you check, and then whomever comes your way is not your match, because I think that's where we stopped, right? Where a lot of guys are, not a lot, it's just at certain level, some women experience this comeback of the male that they don't want, the guys that are not really into a serious relationship. So what do you do from that point on? When you show up, you put yourself out there, and then what comes back, it's not what you want. What would you advise at that moment?
At that moment, use it as a very, very powerful feedback. Use it as a sign that you are not ready yet. Take your profile down. Don't stay there. Don't stay with hope that somebody is gonna, show up. Let's say month or 2 you are on, and this is, just going down. Is not good at all. Don't stay there with hope that something is gonna happen. Remove your profile. Go back to nurturing, to taking care of yourself. Fill your own cup of love. Raise your vibration. Go to the next consciousness level. Like work, let's say, for like 4, 6, 8 weeks on yourself. Like be dedicated. This is what you want. And then when you feel like, okay, I am stable, I am stronger now, go and create another profile. New picture. Don't save. Don't be, cheap with your energy. Do from scratch, from your new vibe. And again, and see what is happening. And you're gonna see different kind of men. And if they're still they're a little better, but not where you want to be, repeat this again. And finally, you're gonna find your man. And you don't have to lower your standards. So many times I hear like, oh, maybe I wanna too much from relationship. Maybe I am too fussy. First of all, think about if you are the match for the kind of man that you want. Is your dream man dreaming about you? If you are the kind of woman, if you are emotional stable, if you are loving your life, if you are full of love and kindness, if you have those qualities, and if you find, be very honest with yourself. And if you are not there, work on this first. By this, you're gonna become match for your dream man. You cannot have just expectations what qualities he's supposed to have, what do you wanna from men, but to look from his perspective. Am I the woman that this kind of man will want? Is he dreaming about me? If yes, great. If not, go back to work. This is something that you can work on. Very, very, very important is emotional intelligence. Like we can keep our emotions intact. Don't let those triggers run your life. Not needing him to feel this, to feel this, black hole in our heart. Our heart has to be full of love, happy. Then we can attract this kind of man.
You know what? I'm thinking to myself that regardless of, right, if you attract them or not, you're going to be full of love and appreciation for your life already. Like this is like, just do the work for yourself, because it's such a better spot than looking back at your past and feeling powerless because this didn't go well, this didn't go well, that didn't go well. Now, I know that you have a course where you help to raise the vibration, right? You help women that have maybe been in a situation where they have been on a dating site and they're very, very frustrated because they feel like they are not seeing the men that they would like to see and they don't meet the quality men. So you actually take your clients through the process of going up. Can you tell us more about that?
This is the process for women that don't have much time, like they don't have too much time to dedicate to their growth. It's called activating love. Is activating love and gratitude vibration in your body. Like love and gratitude is on the same level. We all heard about, we have to be grateful, thankful for the stuff that we have already, in order to attract more of the stuff, like law of attraction. And so many of us are writing down that, every day, at the end of the day, like 10 things I was grateful for. But if you are not doing this with vibration, this is still on the head level. This is like therapy. It's just on the, on the head level. To raise vibration, we have to directly work on our vibration. So this is the process where we go into vibration of love, of gratitude, and we stay as long as possible. Like I love do this practice right before going in sleep, because whatever vibration now field we're gonna put ourselves before falling in sleep, we're gonna keep this vibration through the whole night. When we do this during the day, it has benefits as well, but during the day it's so easy, something gonna happen. It's so easy to bump you out of this vibe. But at night, last thing before sleep, go in this vibe, go to bed. And I have a mantra that I am repeating in bed to myself to don't let thinking about what is gonna happen tomorrow, what I'm gonna be cooking for dinner. Like I don't let myself bump out of this vibe. So I'm repeating this mantra, and it's getting boring very fast, and I'm falling in sleep, and I'm this vibe for the whole night. It's so
Amazing.
it's so easy to be in worry, stress, energy. We go there without our we don't have to do anything about this. It's so easy to get into this. If we want to raise our frequency, we have to consciously choose it, and we have to put the work into it. And night is the best time to do it, because then the whole night is where you are growing this piece of you that when is responsible for your love and gratitude vibration.
That sounds really amazing. And it doesn't sound like such a huge effort, really. Like, because naturally we fall asleep, right? So like if this can become a thing that we do every night, I can totally see how it would impact so much more of our days later on, because you get to spend so much more time in that vibration. Versus, like you said, during the day, we have all these different situations, different stimulants, different thoughts that come to our mind. Our brain is more active. So it makes all the sense in the world to be doing this at night. So tell me, how can someone sign up for this? How can they find you? Where they can find you? What's the cost? All of it. Tell me, because that sounds incredible.
I invite you to my profile on Facebook. I don't do Instagram, I do Facebook. My name is Karolina Kołodziej. We're gonna put some link to my profile and to message me there. This group is private. You cannot find it. I have to invite you. And the other thing amazing about doing this in group, when we work on our energy together, the energy is stronger. Is not like when two women are working on the same, it's like the power of three women is getting multiplied. So this is like more women are working on your dream as well, and on your vibrational field. Yeah, you have to contact me to get invitation to
I
this.
love it. It's like a special thing. It's not that easy. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're gonna put the link in the description of the show, the link to your Facebook profile.
Yes.
And then if someone is interested, they send you a private message. Is this what happens?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, how much does it cost to work with you, like on this?
I do private coaching as well, one-on-one, and it's 2,222 for 3 months package. But this activating love project is just $33 per month, and you get, the practice, understanding of practice. You get understanding of feminine and masculine energy on real life examples. Many people are talking about, but is, be feminine. But what the heck that means, right? Like there's we know that we have to be more feminine, but
well, yeah, and we confuse it, right? Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you, but I think we confuse it. We're like, like I was thinking, okay, if I'm cooking, then I'm feminine. Not necessarily.
All depends who you are when you are cooking. If you are, because you have to, and you are doing this, or because you want to, you put love in it, and yeah.
All right. So tell me, I know everybody wants to know, because you have an incredible man by your side. How did you guys meet? Tell me quickly before we end your love story. I know every listener wants to know. Okay, because you met him. How did you meet him?
I was a truck driver, but I was a very feminine truck driver, and I was so spoiled. I had, like my employees, my co-workers, like at customers, I was very spoiled because I was leading with my feminine energy, and they loved it. Like even guys I was crossing border, US and Canada, and even those very strict officers on the border, they were like, I get compliments, and this is not that I have perfect body. No, I'm just kind, loving, and I know that this is my power, so I lead from this space. I put dating profile on Polish Hearts. I knew that I want to have a Polish guy. I'm from Poland, right? I just left it there. I put few pictures, this little of description about me, because men don't read, so don't waste your time. But you have to put something, some the best is like PowerPoint, something easy to read, not like long paragraph, you're gonna lose him. So very short and sweet, few pictures, and leave it like that. I didn't go to other men profiles. I didn't send like hi, nothing. I was there. I put myself there. I gave this signal that I am available. And my husband, he messaged me, he sent me his phone number, and this how it started.
Sounds easy. It sounds so easy.
Yeah, and I was living my life. I didn't, that wasn't my focus. I always knew that I want to create healthy relationship with masculine men. I knew that. I worked so much on myself, and it took me so many years, but you don't have to do those years. Like, you can speed up this process, use my knowledge because I learned so much during the process, and I know what worked for me, and I know what works for other people. So you can speed up this process, but it took me so long. But when I finally got at the point that I was happy with myself, I was taking care of myself, I put this profile, and I was still living my life. I didn't, I wasn't checking like, oh my gosh, did somebody saw my profile? No, I was just waiting for, I was getting notification that somebody sent me a message. And if somebody sent me, you could send like smiles or a rose, forget, dude. I'm not even bothered. No, or like, stupid message. Like, if you cannot put one sentence, correct sentence, I'm not going to waste my time on you.
Okay, so I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How did you know that it's him?
I was manifesting already something different. I wanted to have van life. I love to live on the road. I realize how much freedom it is. Like when you have just one spoon, one fork, one bowl, one cup for coffee. There's so much freedom in very few essential pieces that you have with you. And I wanted to have van life, to be able to, live on the road. And I'm gonna be 50 this year, and so I was looking for men my age, little older than me, and Polish men. And they are very special kinds of men. They are not very, easygoing men. And I was like, I didn't have much hope that I'm gonna meet men and be able to go and live the van life. This is not something that Polish men do at this age. And when I had this dream that I wanna have Mercedes Sprinter van, and I am able to live on the road, make money on the road, but I didn't know how I'm gonna be making money. I couldn't afford to buy a Sprinter. So I was just doing my thing, but I was dreaming. I was watching like YouTube videos, thinking like what layout I would like. And when Piotr contacted me and when he said what he's doing, I just freaking couldn't believe it. He was living on the road, driving Mercedes Sprinter, making money on the road. I was like, those thoughts, like how I'm gonna convince my man to go and live the van life with me. Yeah. He came with everything. Okay, he came
I love it. Oh my gosh, it's like the world was preparing him for you and you for him. And that's how you knew it's him, because you were very specific.
Very specific. And there was this instant connection. We could talk for hours. Like that was so easy and effortlessly, and was just lovely. Like we felt like we knew each other. And because we were driving, I was driving truck and he was driving Sprinter, we had so many hours to talk during the day, like while driving. So yeah, it was awesome.
I love it. I love it so much. Well, thank you for joining me. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. I really appreciate you being here. I'm just so thrilled that you do this work, and that there are women that gets to do this, right? Our world gets better the whole world gets better when we love who we are, but then we get to share it and we get to create sustainable relationships. That is so important for our society. It's so important for us overall, for our happiness, but also for the strength of our civilization, for the strength of our society. It's very, very important that we have family units, and the romantic relationship is at the base of it. So you have such an important mission. I'm so glad that you're doing it. And thank you so much for coming and sharing your wisdom here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Okay, my lovely friends, I hope you have enjoyed it. Look for Karolina's info in the description of this show. Before I let you go, I have just a few more things of business. If you're an immigrant and you have not taken my free course yet, what are you waiting for? Seriously, what are you waiting for? It's on how to feel comfortable hanging out with Americans when you are the only immigrant in the group. It's gonna happen. If it hasn't happened yet, it will happen. I want for you to have the skills, everything that you need, everything that's necessary to feel comfortable around Americans, so that you're not stressed and you're not hiding who you are and you don't feel shame and you don't feel insignificant, but you feel confident and you feel strong in that room. You feel like you can take space and speak up if necessary, and just talk to people and feel comfortable. You have every single right to be in that space emotionally and mentally, and I tell you exactly how to get there. So if you need help with this because you are stressed out when you go out there and you meet Americans, that course will solve that for you. Okay? All right. So for those of you who are Polish and women, I want to remind you that we have Pogaduchy na emigracji, which is our meeting online where we meet twice a month and we talk about our life here in the US, the struggles and the joys of immigration. If you have a need to connect with an online Polish community, I hope you will join us. It's a newer project of mine, but I absolutely love how it's unfolding. I love these conversations we have online. It's fascinating to hear all the different stories, all the different perspectives. There's so much wisdom. And you know what? When I was, especially in the very beginning of my journey here in the US, this would have been absolutely priceless for me to have. Absolutely priceless. So if you are someone that feels like there's no one that understands you, right? It's gotta be lonely because the people in your home country don't get it. People here don't understand because you don't have a lot of immigrants around you, and you just feel like you're all alone with all of that. There is a Polish community waiting for you to join, and it will be supportive of your journey. And also, okay, I have some exciting projects. So there are courses for immigrant women on confidence, okay? That's coming. That will be paid. It will not be free. First one will be in Polish. It's called Silna Polka na emigracji. It's pretty much ready. I'm just preparing workbook. And with that, there will be also a Polish podcast, that is so exciting. I cannot wait to launch it and to share this knowledge in Polish language, just because who I am and how much fun I have speaking to you in English. And trust me, in Polish, it will be, I'm sure you get it, right? When you speak your native tongue, it's different. It's a different energy. You feel more comfortable. So I cannot wait to be recording podcasts in Polish language. That's really exciting for me. And yes, along with that, there will be a course called Silna Polka na emigracji. And that will be a paid course, but it's gonna be on developing self-confidence and developing that inner strength. I am also going to be preparing a course like that in English so that the rest of you who are not Polish will also have access to this knowledge. And I want to remind you that I have a one-on-one practice where you can hire me for individual sessions. This is where you get my attention 100%. We focus on your life. So if you are an immigrant female and you feel like life is okay, but it could be 1,000 times better because this immigrant journey has been difficult. And you felt confident and strong in your home country, but here in the US, even though you have faced a lot of struggles, you do feel kind of strong, but in the same time, you feel like you cannot pull that strength out of you in the daily situations here in the US. It's like you're strong, but you're not. I want to invite you to consider having a consultation with me because I can help you. I have had honor to help many, many, many immigrant women with building their inner strength where they just feel very solid within and they know that doesn't matter what happens, they will be okay. I'm talking about you investing in yourself, things that you probably have never even considered doing, but I believe there's nothing more important and the money is never better spent than investing in yourself. So schedule a consultation with me. This is where you and I talk online. You tell me what the problem is. I tell you if I can help, and if I was to help you, how I would do that. And that's when we talk about all the logistics of it as well. All right, my friends, I will talk to you next time. Bye.